Alright, and let's see, is it live? It's live! Hello, everyone, and welcome to October. Welcome to my weekly stream, the one that happens on every Monday starting at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I am joined today by a special guest, my usual special guest, CyberneticPinkeye.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the dating sims.
Uh-huh. Thank you for spoiling the surprise.
I didn't say which dating sim it is.
True, and technically it says it underneath the stream, but not everyone reads that. So, anyway. So, in case you haven't gathered from that conversation, we're going to be switching things up a little bit today and approaching a slightly different game than what I've been streaming thus far. Now, many of you may already be familiar with Doki Doki Literature Club. Hey Griffin, are you familiar with Doki Doki Literature Club?
Does that answer your question?
Your silence? No. But the whole point of this is to have banter. You fuck. Thank you for the dead air.
Well, it was dead air caused by me leaving the call.
Uh-huh. Well, you see, I can't hear that because I'm in streamer mode.
Ah, okay.
So all I heard was silence.
Okay.
So thanks.
Yeah, Pinger put a Discord leave call sound effect there.
You didn't think this through, did you? Anyway.
Not really.
Did you know that there's a right way to play through the game?
I mean, I suppose the rightest way is not to play the game.
Presumably. And of course it's going to take a second to pop up on screen because of course it is.
Well,
There
yes.
it is. And it seems a little on the loud side. So I would share the screen with my dear friend here, but unfortunately I have run into streaming issues whenever I have done that, so I'm going to be taking the vocal load of all of the voice acting today. Hi, Mare. But hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be playing Doki Doki Literature Club. And the thing is that I kind of talked about this before, but there's also, for all of the different ways that you can play this game, and there are a handful of them, there's actually technically a correct way to play it. Thank you, Kat. That's great commentary. But it's a little bit more difficult to achieve than your standard playthrough. But without any further ado, we may as well kick things off for this.
May as well.
Please enter your name. How about Fred?
Burger.
The game shifted keys when I typed in Fred. Okay, I'm gonna go with.
Starts already.
I'm gonna go with Fred. Because it's so fucking standard.
I mean,
Hey!
yes.
I have no idea what voice to give any of them.
Christ.
I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long.
Mm-hmm.
We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk. And I'm going to handle the vocal load today. Skip forward, crosswork.
You picked a hell of a game.
And let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Fred. Already.
Doki, meet the Doki.
Oh my god. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. Wow, I added my usual flair in there. As we draw near, my streets become increased.
Streets are mine. They belong to me.
And Mare has just killed someone by throwing their phone at their head. Gruff no. Oh boy. The streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Fred, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. So our protagonist, everyone, is actually a fucking asshole. What a surprise.
So is every protagonist from every dating sim.
Hi, Joy.
Also, I can't unsee... I know, I made the Flintstones joke now, but, like, the moment Sayori asked about, like, clubs, all I could think of is the Lost Brothers of the Order of the Water Buffalo.
Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on average, well, spending my free time on games and anime.
You can see how much my contributions are appreciated around here.
Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college, Griffin.
Looks at my 2 degrees on the wall.
Uh-huh. So instead of learning before it and yet learning after it, where are we now?
In a shit ton of trouble.
Woo! Ah. Unlikable on purpose because he saw all visual novel protagonists that way. Yeah, that's not untrue. The thing is that they're unlikable for other reasons, but the way that they treat their the characters in the game as literal, oh god, I can't believe I'm drooling over all of them. Who would I ever pack? Like, in the real world, it doesn't work based on who you choose.
Yeah, it's the literal kid in the candy store mentality with these games.
Uh-huh. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming in need in a few years because you're not used to the real world, Griffin.
Insert Osamatsu-san joke here.
You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? Because you love her and her gigantic head.
Yeah, it's a bit on the plus size, that noggin.
It is. The thing is that, like, I remember thinking, oh, the hands look really tiny, but then I realized, no, the hands are actually proportionate to the body for the most part. It's the fucking head that's this gigantic thing.
Yeah, the modification of all these characters is especially egregious with her.
Yes. More than that.
I don't understand what it is about the Japanese and their obsession with giant heads and, giant eyes.
It's not the Japanese, though. We have that here in the States, too. Why do you think the Bratz dolls became so popular? It literally is actually this thing where they make the head bigger on purpose. Sorry to actually sidetrack the fun here with a discussion about this, but we actually perceive, have been trained to perceive the larger head as being moderately more attractive, which is unfortunate because a larger head proportionately usually indicates someone who is younger.
Why did you have to remind me that Bratz dolls were a thing?
Listen, if I had to watch their rise and fall, then I'm going to remind everyone else of the pain. Anyway.
I'm nostalgia critic.
If I have to hurt, so do you.
Mhm.
Anyway. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her gigantic fucking head.
Well, yeah, she's an anime girl.
The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayuri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Quite frankly, I would go with the Renaissance Fair Club, because they would actually distribute actual clubs.
Again, this is all working out too perfectly. We've set up our character as Fred Flintstone looking for clubs.
Hello? Sayuri? Sayuri must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. That's convenient. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, well, you know... Know what? That you could come to my club. Sayori, go fuck yourself. Yeah?
With your big head.
There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie? Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest in... Wow, I keep slipping into my voice. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you do have a pretty good narrator voice.
To show interest in the... After the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please? Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I want to seduce you in the closet. I kind of told the club yesterday that I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Oh, God.
Don't make promises you can't keep. And that could honestly be the end of the game. Like, it could easily be the end of the game where he's just like, fuck this. I'm not playing your game. Also, hello to all of these people who are wandering into the stream. It's good to see you. It's good to hear from you.
Yes.
Says Bobo Fett. Well... It is kind of spoiler heavy. It's probably going to take a long while to actually get to the super heavy spoiler places.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm playing a story-intensive game for the month of October or something like that. This is probably...
Plots tell no tales.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, this is probably also going to be taking us through the rest of the month, because the playthrough is usually pretty long anyway. Yeah. And this is going to be slightly extended in order to, do it right. Anyway. I can't tell if Sayuri is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have it planned all of this out. Why not both?
I was gonna say.
I let out a long sigh.
She's flatlining. Claire!
Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake.
I mean,
I was gonna say, there are worse things. Have you seen some of those Do you remember those cupcakes that we got when I was out there?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Those were so good.
They
my
were.
God, they were so flavorful. The frosting on them was so...
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
We're foodies, in case you couldn't tell.
Kind of. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here! I told you, don't call me new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You bought... Wow, bought? You bought it, boy!
She kind of did, with cupcakes.
Yeah, so technically, she bought him with your currency.
Look at this happy, fun moe game about indentured servitude.
Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Ah, Fred, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
Oh, hi, Wilma.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls with gigantic heads. And one of them even has boobs to match.
I mean...
What are you looking at? If you want
the aforementioned boobs.
Or lack thereof, I suppose.
I suppose.
If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. Natsuki? The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. And again, I keep going back into lore voice.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that, quietly into my ear. And then turns back towards the other girl.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
It's just like getting up close to his ear.
You can just ignore her because when she gets moody.
Like fucking Mabel from Gravity Falls.
Oh my god. And then turns back towards the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy.
If that's what you want to call it.
And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Yes, well, Natsuki is secretly actually a super swole buff. Just saying.
She never skips leg day.
Well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Fred. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down, Fred. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Why are you going into the closet, Yuri? Yuri? Why are you in the closet? Yuri?
Well, you have to go in before you come out.
Thank you for making the joke explicit. Yeah, there are like 24 tables in here. I mean, they're all desks, individual desks, but anyway.
Yes.
Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da!
Oh, good bongo cat.
Wah!
Okay.
Wah!
Natsuki was...
Look at all these chickens.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for the bits, guys. Oh, that's... thank you.
All them bits.
I'm sorry. I love how this is coming up as I'm going, I start screaming.
Woo woo, as the children say.
Oh my god. Ah! Thank you for bits. I'm like, you can't see me making little pawing motions at the air. I'm just like, hello. Hello.
Could you try that again in English?
No. Anyway.
Let me sing for you the song of my people.
I want you to think about what you just did. Anyway.
I had plenty of time to think about it before I went through with it.
If we keep pausing to have these interruptions, this is going to take forever. I guess that's what this is going to go, then.
I mean, that's the plan.
I suppose so. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy kittens. No. Cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! Oh my god. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious!
Sayori talks with her mouth full. How did I know? Talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Look, here's the best way to eat a cupcake. When you get it, you remove the bottom of it, like the mostly bread portion of it, and then you put it on top. That way you get a cupcake sandwich, and then you can take a relatively easy bite.
Or you could just inhale the damn thing like I do.
Through your nostrils, which was impressive.
I mean, I was hungry that day.
Anyway. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. On her shoulder. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. Sorry.
I'm not gonna touch that one. Also, pretty sure she probably had Yuri's help in that regard.
This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
Why are you thanking me? It's not like I
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
Uh-huh.
made them for you or anything.
Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said...
Well, maybe! But not for, you! Dummy! Babaka!
Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation, because who really wants to deal with a tsundere at this point anyway?
I mean...
Babaka! Anyway, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray.
Before severing the teapot in front of us.
Stop. Also, hello, all of the people. Hello, all of the new...
Imagine all the people.
Anyway. See, that's literally antithetical to what we're doing right now.
Well, yes, but that's nothing new.
True. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry. The teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
I mean, tea and pastries are a good combination.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that,
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I mean, having something good to drink while you're reading a book is actually not bad, and a warm liquid like coffee or tea or something like that can go a long way for that.
Yeah, plus who doesn't like tea? I'll tell you who. Heathens.
It's not my drink of choice, but I do enjoy it from time to time.
There you go.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me.
So, what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so...
That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
Well,
Monica.
one of those things.
Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year?
Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs.
Now, I will say, that's kind of fair, because if you ever get involved with clubs around the school, and especially in Japan, there's a lot of, fighting to get funding, there's fighting to, try to just make sure that your club gets everything that it needs in order to function. And there are a lot of politics involved in that, but gee, isn't it rather interesting that a person who was on the debate team doesn't like the politics surrounding major clubs?
It doesn't matter if you're a master debater.
Stop it.
I'll see myself out.
Taking a quick second to drink something, because it turns out that doing voice acting can be a bit of a demand.
No fooling.
No fooling. Anyway.
The more you know.
It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events, which is exactly what you would do in the debate teams, so I'm just saying. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader.
Yuri also... I was going to read that in her voice for a second.
Yuri also nods in agreement.
Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all of the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important.
We're not going to get into politics on this stream, just gonna say that right now. Just catching up with the chat briefly.
Yeah, that was mistake number one.
I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. Huh.
So, Fred, what kinds of things do you like to read?
Like, stream comments, apparently. Sorry, I was distracted because I'm, trying to keep up with you guys, too. Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. I almost said pops up. Pops off.
I'm not saying a damn thing. I'm not saying a word.
It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Wow, that wheeze. That was an epic wheeze.
We like to have fun here.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? It's a good fucking question. I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds.
Same, though?
The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. Griffin, no. I'm just reading the chat. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Nice segue.
I read a horror book once.
I fucking
Oh
died.
my god! That came up literally just as I clicked. No, someone just, I think it was, followed or something like that. I couldn't quite see what it was. Hello, people. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
I clicked and it went, dong! Ta-da! Like a little fanfare.
I love how, like, Yuri is, like, low-key calling out every, like, fanfiction writer in the world.
I mean, well, yes? I don't know what you mean. And there's
Like-
another one. Oh, hello. Hey, thank you for hosting.
Yes.
Yay! I got people hosting me. Yay! Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? Little voice. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. And thank you for hosting.
It's always the quiet ones.
I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
I hate horror.
Oh? Why's that?
Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? I have to think about each character before I start to speak. That's the thing with voice acting. It's not... Some people can just rapid fire switch between the characters, but, like, me, as an amateur, I have to think, okay, what is this character? Okay, right.
Oh, God.
What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud!
Remember, kids, call out culture is gross.
And give that back!
Fine.
Your cupcakes, your poems? Everything you do is just as cute as you are!
Sayuri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. Do not touch the child!
It was at that moment Sayori knew. She'd fucked up.
I'm not cute!
Natsuki, you write your own poems? What the fuck kind of response was that?
A bit of a delayed one.
I'm not cute!
You write poems?
Yeah, we've also long since established that the player protagonist is not exactly the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree.
True. And sidles is a word. Yeah, it's basically like, it's a way of describing exactly what she did, which is basically coming up sidelong. Anyway.
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No!
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Ah, not a very confident writer yet?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself.
I'm sure that I've mentioned this before, but I kind of disagree with that statement. Writing is something that you should do for yourself, but... Oh, thank you for hosting.
Yes.
It is something that you should do for yourself, but it's also something that you should do
to share with other people. Like, it's something that we do to share with other people. We want to share these stories, these universes inside our heads with others.
Yeah.
Anyway. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment while everyone disappears. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Wow, what am I doing? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Again, I love the detail that Monika is the only one that's looking at us straight on.
Uh-huh. Again, I'm not saying a damn thing.
Isn't that right, Fred? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I want to fuck every last one of you! I mean...
Well, again, dating some protagonists, so...
I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought... Fred... And they all sink into the quicksand.
We don't feel so good, Mr. Fred.
Okay! Go away! You're banned! Banned! Oh. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I mean, all of the blood has just gone to my penis. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Boing! One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Apparently, the protagonist can also be used as a flotation device.
Well, apparently his penis can.
Well, if you want to get explicit with the joke.
If you want to leave, that's alright. But thank you for dropping by. I'm sorry that I'm playing a game that you don't want spoiled, but that's fair enough.
Yes.
But if you do ever want to come back and watch it someday, I will be posting the full stream to my channel, as I always do. And there will also be highlights posted to my channel every week on Tuesday.
Yes.
Nice little moment opportunity for a plug, I suppose.
Available for $9.99.99.
No, I don't charge that much. In fact, I don't charge anything at all. In fact, all of my content is available completely for free. However, if you enjoy my work, if you would like to go over to my Patreon, which is actually linked in the social links beneath the video, I would appreciate the support. And even
Don't
if
forget
you
to donate some of those sweet, sweet bits.
Oh yes, I would really love your tasty bits in my jar. Okay. There is actually also an option to donate in the social links, the Streamlabs donation link. But again, none of this is mandatory. I'm sorry to detract from the fun here to talk about all of this, but every little bit of support helps and goes a very long way. It really does. So, funny story. My friend made a bet with the leader of the school's gaming club that if he lost, he gets banned. He lost, but we're not allowed to ban him, so he just jokingly says he's banned. Yeah. Okay. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayuri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. This is not an appropriate motion. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed.
Well, you're always super pissed, regardless.
That makes it official. Eat my hair, Natsuki.
Well, wait till everyone's left first.
Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone! Everyone vanishes.
Again.
I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Fred, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? No. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Fred, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Wow. Also, hello, Mr. Egg. That's right. Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! I do love this song. Which you can't hear, unfortunately. With that, the two of us depart the clubroom and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica.
And I'm Javert.
Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Really close. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Hello, thank you for following, Rowan. Thank you. Glad to have you on board. Good to see you. Good to see all of you who've come out today. It's good to see you.
Welcome to the Doki.
Welcome to the Doki. For those of you who don't know, I am joined by CyberneticPinkeye.
You want to try that one again?
CyberneticPinkeye.
There we go.
Also known as Asshole.
Well, yes, but that's nothing new.
He's a dick. And also my best friend.
Okay. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Do. It's time to write a poem! Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a quick save just to make sure, just in case anything happens.
Yeah, best to be on the safe side.
Oh, yes. So this is actually an interesting function of the game. I know which phrases, for the most part, should apply to each of them, and I'm going to be doing things in a very specific order. Like I mentioned at the start of this, there is a quote-unquote correct way to do this. Technically, there's not necessarily an order, so I'm just going to go in order of preference. But eventually, it will become clear what it is that I'm doing. But anyway, let's see. Heart. Let's see. Grief. Excitement. I love that suicide is on this list. Cheeks.
Not gonna say a thing.
Boop. Memories. Let's see. Lazy. Happiness. Let's see. Warm. I think forgive? Yep. Gee, I wonder who it is that I am trying to romance on this run.
Mm-hmm.
There is technically a correct way, but there are multiple ways to play through this, and I'm trying to be a little bit evasive so as not to spoil what's going on. Let's be careful about talking about the special ending. Okay, let's see, explode. Hope. Hopeless. Together. Unrequited, I think, would technically fall to Yuri. Let's see. Raindrops. Oh, that fell to Yuri as well. Well, that's okay. Daydream. Yep. Flower. Yay! Entropy. Griffin has flashbacks.
Not a word.
Embrace. Pleasure. Oh. Wrong one. Oh well. I'm pretty sure I'm still in the right place. Fickle. Chocolate. Natsuki got one. Okay. Rose? Clumsy. Contamination. Bed. And romance. Yeah, no, this part is actually not all that scary. There wouldn't be terrifying things at all in this. Nothing scary whatsoever. That's why I'm playing it in the Halloween month. Hi again, Fred. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Fred. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Samurai told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and blah 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 consentence.
You know.
Just come here and hang out or what? But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Again, call out culture is gross.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Mangaka! Wait, actually, that is a thing.
Yeah?
Manga is literature! I am so sorry for all of your eardrums.
You should be.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. She died.
K.O. You win!
Don't worry, guys. Fred always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room, taking care of me, mothering me. He's really kind of invasive when you think about it, and I'm really childlike if I'm actually letting him do all of those things. How dependable.
That's one word for it. Oh, come on, Boba Fett. I'm so glad I wasn't wearing headphones. I was. I still am. My earballs.
I want you to think about what you just said.
I was quoting the chat.
I was talking to the chat.
What? Don't do that. That's my job.
Let's see how much I'm needed here.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. Why are you distracted by the messiness of her room?
More importantly, what are you distracted from while in her room?
And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
Well, I guess we know what he was distracted from now.
You two are really good friends, aren't you?
You really got that from what was just exchanged?
Again, it seems to be delayed reaction times amongst all these characters.
I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Fred can become good friends too. Sayori?
Under my supervision, of course.
As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait!
Wait, Sayori?
Me?
Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sarah made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey! Don't worry about it. I'm here.
I was gonna say.
I'm here now. No, if I wanted to do that, I would go, hey! To explain that a little bit, Griffin and I have been watching My Hero Academia, and of course we're watching the Japanese dub, which means there's one moment where one of the characters comes up and he uses English frequently, and
All Might is a treasure.
And the way that he starts off at one point is he says, hey, but he says it like an old man, so it's like, hey! We were like,
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
And can I just say that Chris Sabat is a perfect fit for the English dub?
Oh, absolutely. It is good. I do recommend it.
Yes. I mean,
1 second.
All Might is the best dead.
1 second for hydration.
Yes.
It's a really good series. Anyway, plugging an anime on my stream. I do actually really recommend it if you can find it. I know that it's on Crunchyroll. I'm sure there are other streaming sites out there that you can watch
I
it.
believe it's also on Netflix.
Is it? I don't think it is. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I thought I remembered seeing it on there.
it might have been on there once, but I don't think I've seen it since. Anyway.
But wherever you can find it, I can't recommend it enough.
See, the reason why I actually recommend it is because I generally am not particularly drawn to the shonen genre when it comes to anime, but this does it all right. Like, it's not stereotypical. The main character, as opposed to like your typical emotionally reclusive character, is literally a crybaby. Also, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, and thank you for the bits. Jeez.
Nice.
Thank you, Kat.
Keep the bits coming, people.
Excuse me.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a response.
Yeah, I do too, Boba Fett. That's why I took Griffin here through Fruits Basket recently.
I thought we agreed never to talk about that again.
We didn't agree anything of the sort. I enjoyed that series, and fuck you. But yes, if you're looking for an incredibly, very character-driven and plot-driven story with incredible animation, a lot of forethought, and really, like, a lot of people just throw superpowers into the mix and they just, like, kind of call it a day. But no, they actually take into account how these superpowers would play off of each other, both in combat with each other as well as in cooperation with each other, which is not something that I see every time when it comes to these types of stories. I'm sorry to literally turn this into a fucking advertisement for My Hero Academia, but please.
You're not going to hear any objections from me.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Let's continue with this.
Yes.
Hey. Hey! Don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. And, like, I love how you see him portrayed as an asshole earlier, But then he actually has those moments where he's legit kind. So it almost feels like there's been someone who's tampering with the fucking options that you have. But also thank you again for the bits, guys.
Yes.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
All right. Well, here are my boobs.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read.
Literature for dummies.
And we could, have sex. Discuss it, if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute?
Stereotypes.
She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace.
Well, thank you for that condescending little backhanded compliment.
Well, it is Yuri.
I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, as she vanishes into the ether, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet.
As she do.
Just, Alright, Joy. Oh, gosh. I love Yuri for many reasons. But anyway. And it looks like no one wants to be bothered today. Alright, bye. End stream, bye. Yeah. No one wants to be bothered.
Can't be bothered.
Well. Well. It was just yesterday, as Atlas points out. I slumped down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? Literature generally is a pretty solo activity. I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. Mood? I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica.
We're probably gonna seem really late compared to all the other clubs, though.
Well, that was an oddly deep voice for Monica.
Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of the literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds.
Lorelei.exe has stopped working. You sound like a Furby with blue batteries. Lorelei reaching critical mass.
Anyway. That doesn't solve the problem, though.
Oh, God.
Are you okay, Laura asks Kat.
Fine, good.
Have we explained that one before?
Not really. At least
So-
not on stream.
Ages ago, at some point, Griffin was having a day, and I asked him, "Are you okay?" And he responded with, "Define good." And I'm like, well, I asked if you were okay, but sure.
I'm sort of like lost in my own morose attitude about whatever the fuck it was, and I thought I heard her say, "Are you good?" And so I said, "Fine, good."
It's like, well, sure. Anyway.
That doesn't solve the problem, though. Eh? What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds.
What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this.
Huh. That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick?
Yeah, sure. Just bribe everyone food.
I mean, it's worked thus far.
I mean, actually, that's not a terrible suggestion.
What kind?
Does it matter to you, Sayori? Does it actually matter what kind of food? As long as it's food. You don't need to get all sweaty and excited about it.
Huh. Well,
Heavy breathing intensifies.
I guess we could... Cupcakes!
Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. I mean, actually asking her might be a good idea, but...
You're right! Natsuki makes the best cupcakes! That works out perfectly!
That wasn't why you suggested it?
Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy!
Sayori.
Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry.
Sayori.
I'm hungry.
Anyway.
Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free.
Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself.
Okay, bye. I find myself smiling in pitch black. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things, and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. You really don't want to do that. Oh, for fuck's sake! Wah! I opened my eyes. Sorry. I didn't mean for that voice crack, but dear lord. I opened my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fell out of my chair.
Sorry!
Understandably so.
Wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club.
Are you sure? It could be.
I mean,
We all
yeah.
apparently want to sleep with each other, so...
Yeah, who are you to judge, Sayori?
Does our school have a napping club?
You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know.
I don't know why I'm giving her a sudden deep voice.
You'll need to
I
get
think-
used to it.
Puberty hit hard.
Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see...
As if in response.
Puberty hit hard. Don't say that out loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard.
It's true, though.
Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori.
It's what I do best.
That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you?
Not every day.
That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time?
It's a secret.
I knew it.
Come on. At least give you the benefit of the doubt.
No. I know, less time for anime? Nope.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I thought we agreed that we're never going to invoke that in my presence again.
We didn't agree to jack shit.
Well, fuck you then. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Like, literally, someone took a marker to your jacket. What the fuck?
Yeah, is your narcolepsy really that bad?
Sayori glances around at herself. How is... Oh my fucking Christ. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a good brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's a toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori. Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Ooh, that's an asshole thing to say.
Well, yes, he's the player protagonist.
That's super mean! Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind.
Mm-hmm. Like, again, he sounds less like a potential love interest and more like a doting parent.
This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. Babaka.
I was about to say.
It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggle to fully close the button near her chest.
Mm-hmm.
Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. Sigh. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore.
Le sign, as the children say.
The sign. Yeah, dang, Fred. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Okay, Sayori, you're going back in your corner.
Uh-huh. Back in the closet with Natsuki.
Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... Why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy.
It's called puberty, Fred.
Nick on the wind. Okay.
That one is for you, Merity.
It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew! That's so much better! Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? That's really not how it works.
Hint fucking hint.
What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that like it... Yeah, well... Why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Because... if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Yeah, sure, that's why. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. I didn't say anything embarrassing. Uh-huh. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So, maybe you should come wake me up in the morning? You're doing it again, Sayori. Aw, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone!
Like, it's amazing how hungry this girl claims to be when it's painfully evident that it's thirst she's after.
Uh-huh.
Or thirst that she wants to quench. I should have thought that analogy through a bit further.
Well, I mean,
Or
she's
she
also...
wants the D.
Sunny D, all right!
Oh my god, it even works with, like, Natsuki being soda and Yuri being purple stuff.
Oh my god.
Someone out there, please make a YouTube poop of that. Soda, purple stuff. Oh, Sunny D, all right.
That's it, stream over. I cannot top that. There's nothing left to achieve. There's nothing else.
Comedy has been mastered. There is no more use for any further comedians.
There is no more after that. That is the peak of all, and that's enough. All right.
Entertainment has been perfected.
Anyway.
I am the ultimate life form.
Monica suddenly calls out, "Why don't we share the poems we wrote now?" Yay! Fred, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I failed to sound enthusiastic. Wow, I didn't even intend for that to work out so well.
Oh, God.
But Sayuri still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. Relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. You've been doing a lot of chatting, but everyone is still hopefully there and alive, and no one's been killed because of Griffin's stupid fucking humor. Humor?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't need another lawsuit, so
Another one.
don't even worry about it. I mean, and honestly, what I get up to in the privacy of my own cabin in the middle of the woods is nobody's business but mine.
Oh, I know what you do in the cabin in the middle of the woods.
And the parties involved.
I know what you're up to in that cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I could already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit, which is pretty fucking good. So, Griffin, how often do you delete your search history, asks Bobo Fett.
See, that's what the incognito window is for.
Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who do we want to share the poem with first? Well, if you've been paying attention, you can probably fucking guess. Hey, Sayori, guess what? Eat my poem. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all. Oh my goodness. This is so good, Fred. Eh? I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either.
How many times during the stream have you broken?
I was broken before I started.
Well, true, but the question stands.
Anyway.
I
Jeez.
love how sassy this fucking game is.
I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't just like it because I wrote it? Well, well, I'm sure that's part of it. I started to say as Sayori. Jesus fucking Christ!
God.
Alright. Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Fred poem! And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it.
Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're really weird, Sayori.
I'm really happy just that you wrote one.
Whoa.
Again, the question stands. How many times have you broken?
No. That's just the demon that I summoned that possesses me.
That's not a glitch. That's a feature.
We don't talk about glitches.
It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Fred. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people? That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Well, I'm pretty sure your dick is out of camera lens here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah! And I'm gonna make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then.
Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Click outside poem area to continue. And you may notice that when you read someone's poems, you'll actually get a specific variation of this theme tailored to each of the girls. Sayori's is more, I think it's more like woodwind instrument, as well as some of the piano instrumentation in there as well.
Yeah.
Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No! Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put this? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast!
Even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing.
I mean,
Anyway.
I was just gonna say, you're not wrong.
Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun! Monica's the best!
Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever!
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Let's see. Well, how about we do Natsuki next? That's
Sounds like a good idea.
not a sentence that I should say very much.
It depends on which server you're in.
Sorry, I'm also rehydrating in the middle of all of this.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me, princess. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions.
So, basically it's not cute enough for your tastes?
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it.
And hers becomes even more childish and simplistic. Like it's being played on a xylophone, among other things. Go Queen Blunt, yep.
Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it.
I want breakfast.
I want breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay.
And this is actually a legit statement. Huh.
Eh?
No, just in the chat, yes.
Yes.
Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
What?
That's what it means. That's what it means to be a pro!
That's what it means to be a pro.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya?
Yeah, guess not. I decide to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her.
Yuri!
Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
Yeah, that's a problem. A lot of us have, actually. A lot of people who get started with Let's Playing actually forget that sometimes, too. I have seen some... Like, that's one of the reasons why I always give the advice whenever you want to get started with something like doing Let's Plays, is start with a game that you're really comfortable with and you're really familiar with, because it gets really easy to get sucked into doing the gameplay and not actually doing the commentary. A Let's Play can be functionally just a playthrough or a walkthrough or something along those lines, but the commentary is often what makes a Let's Play worthwhile. That's why people would come to watch your playthrough as opposed to, say, someone else's, is because of the color commentary that you're providing as you go through.
Yeah.
Hi, Archer! Anyway.
Hey.
It's fine. Don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. Thank you for following!
Yes.
This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah.
Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
Ah, so it's that bad.
No! Did I just...
What? No.
What? No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. I think this is actually slightly different from my Yuri voice before, but it might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical to new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most
For example,
notable...
your habit is you fucking suck.
Well, we're not going to comment on that because that's mean.
Notice the thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for,
You condescending little shit.
There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
By that I mean she hates everything that I do. It's really strange. It seems like she picks on everything that I do almost intentionally. It's like I stand out to her in some way, and she just needs to highlight it in every way that she can.
I can't imagine why.
Well, never mind.
And of course, Griffin's voices are always spot on. I agree. All of the many voices in his head that he translates into speech are very wonderful.
I mean, debatable.
I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if...
¿Por qué no los tres?
Stop. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? And her music has more string emphasis. Okay.
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms.
You mentioned that.
Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
This is a little pretentious, Yuri.
Oh, yes, it's Yuri.
By a little, I mean a lot.
I'm sorry, I must have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you such... I broke my wrist!
That's... I'm not gonna say anything, but... You know what I'm thinking.
Anyway.
I love how we went full Saturday morning cartoon there.
God.
I'll see you in your nightmares, kids.
But it took you a long time to read.
Ah! Well, what?
Just the casual, like, moving right along.
Well, I have to! There's so much ground to cover, Griffin!
We have a month!
And it's gonna take that long. It's gonna take longer, probably, especially at this rate! Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Again, the pretentiousness.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri? I'm listening to cats do shit in the background now. Awesome.
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Fred.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than just tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. Pretentious shit, right? And soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
What? For what? For not writing a shitty fucking poem?
I mean... I'm counting on you to be the shit writer, so I can look better by comparison.
Well, she always has Natsuki for that.
True.
I love how I leaned closer to the mic on that one.
It's like, well, she always has her girlfriend for that.
Why do you gotta make these things explicit? What's your fucking problem? Why can you never be subtle, Griffin?
Because subtlety is so 2017.
I hate you.
I know.
I hate you!
I hate everything about you!
So who should I show my poem to next? We don't have any other options. It's just Monica.
Listen.
Alright, thank you for dropping by, Archer.
Yes. Have a good one, Archer.
Bye, Mom and Griff.
Ow. You wound me, madam.
What, you've literally said that you don't want to be dad to anyone.
It's called a joke, Lorelai.
I am familiar with jokes, but you have weird comedic timing.
Well, yes. It's almost as if I inherited some of that weird timing from you.
No, you didn't. If you did, I wouldn't have had to tell you to restructure things like 5 different times for that last audio. Ugh.
Oh, well, we're bringing internal politics into this, huh? Is that how it's gonna go?
Internal politics, woo! What? It's not politics, it's just you fucking things up. Ugh. Okay, that's mean. Fine, bye, Mom.
I see my services are no longer required on this channel.
Well, I could always think of some other services for you.
Mm-hmm. I could always consider charging you.
Wow. So you would literally make yourself a whore.
I mean, that's kind of how capitalism works.
Hi, Fred! Having a good time so far?
What the fuck is this stream?
Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, If you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do together, do better. Sorry, that was a weird slip of the tongue, wasn't it? I'm always listening. Always. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright. I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Always remember.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me? Okay, anyway.
Jesus Christ, that was a gurgly one.
Yes, it was. Yes. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Just like imagining, you want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing.
Like you turned half Smeagol there.
Well, to
Does
be
we
fair.
have to share, precious?
Wow. Anyway.
But it's dangerous.
Don't worry, Fred. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Mm-hmm. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Ah, well... Sorry. Rubrina in the chat. I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like a healthy teenage boy.
Define healthy.
Define boy.
I mean,
Define teenage.
it's 2018. That's kind of difficult in this day and age.
Ah, well. We may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So, I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh, gosh, I sound like Yuri. That's hilarious, given that I'm voicing everyone.
I mean,
But, oh my god, I think that was actually true in the Let's Play too. Like, I sound like Yuri. Wait a second. But in any case, Sayori's writing has a kind of gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure he'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything.
even though that's kind of the entire point of this game.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. And her music is very piano-based.
Mm-hmm.
Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. a whole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Welcome back, Boba Fett.
Yes.
And once again, a reminder that if you do end up missing anything on this stream, I do post the full streams to my channel, usually within a couple of weeks or so. I also post highlights edited by the very wonderful Pinger Surprise to my channel, usually on Tuesdays. In fact, consistently on Tuesdays. So if you don't want to have to sit there and watch for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you can always get the condensed version of some of the actually funniest bits, with some fantastic editing involved.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, what do you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you would call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later.
This is actually good advice.
Yes. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Get good.
Get good, scrub. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Phew! Jesus. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Sorry, I got caught up in the music for a second there.
This musical interlude brought to you by Magic Lorelei. Subscribe today.
Subscribe and possibly go check out my Patreon, which is linked in the panel underneath the stream. But only
Warning,
if,
side effects may include screaming into the void and singing at random.
or both. Simultaneously.
Yeah.
Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change.
Yes.
Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Eh?
I thought we spoke Japanese.
Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something?
So fucking condescending.
It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How could that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Yeah, well, you fucking failed.
Mm-hmm.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
That's not what she asked. You're already in the shithole, Yuri.
She really doesn't know how to people very well.
She really doesn't. A couple suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayuri liked it, and Fred did too. So based on that, I will gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style.
You know what? This kind of writer pisses me off.
Alright. I'll have you know I graduated first of my class.
Yeah.
Like that, those types of fucking self-righteous motherfuckers.
The ones who are like, I've already perfected my craft in total isolation, by the way, with no feedback from other people. So clearly any advice that you have to give on this subject is completely wrong.
Yeah, newsflash, kids. Like, no matter how many years of experience you have in any given field, there's no possible way to quote-unquote perfect it. There's a reason doctors go to conferences in medical fields. The field is always changing and advancing. Just because you have a PhD doesn't mean you know everything you will ever need to know. It's the same with any field, including writing.
Well, and that's the thing, is that especially with creative things, a lot of the things that help us improve, creativity is very often an expression, a social expression. And one of the things that we do when we're creating these things is trying to share it with other people and relate it to other people. Being able to improve cannot be done entirely in isolation. Yes, you can study, yes, you can learn, you can do a lot of these things on your own and develop the skills. You can flex the muscles on your own, absolutely. But getting feedback from other people is absolutely essential to grow as an artist and as a creator.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
There's a difference between criticism and haters. Just because someone has an idea of how you could improve in some specific field doesn't mean they are simply out to get you. Now, granted, there are some people out there who are just dicks for the sake of being dicks, but it helps to try and identify the differences between those types of people.
I think there's a balance between seeking the feedback, like saying, hey, how can I improve on this? And there are sometimes when you just want to post something not necessarily for the sake of feedback, in which case there are a lot of people who love to volunteer their opinion either way. But
yeah,
regardless.
It's the internet.
But it's one of those... Feedback is essential to grow, and it's important to try and take yourself out of your comfort zone every once in a while. However, when you are critiquing someone, try to keep in mind, being critical is good, but one of the ways that you help someone grow is to find the positive things. Let them know what they're doing right, just as much as the things that they're doing wrong. I'm not saying like, well, I liked it because... Try to genuinely find the things, the little, even fledgling things that you like in their work, and let them know where they're on the right path. Think of it less like, I'm going to change everything about what you're doing, and more like, I'm going to course correct some of the things that, to me, I feel are off kilter. So, it's, feedback is vital. Not all feedback is vital.
Yeah, and granted, not every creator is going to be as open to feedback as others. Because me personally, creative criticism is my crack when it comes to anything I put out there. But some people will be like, okay, I'm not necessarily looking for feedback on this, but I appreciate it. And again, it helps to go into a situation where, like, reading the room is important, so to speak, when it comes to whatever someone puts out there. If by their description of what they've put up, they are open to getting feedback on how it is and how they can improve, like, by all means, go ahead and let them know. But also be sure to word your feedback to make it clear that you are, in fact, trying to point out the strengths in what they've put out and maybe help them improve upon those.
And like I said, part of that is also not just wording the criticism in itself in a way that is, clear that you're just trying to help, but again, I know that it sounds like, pampering people or whatever, but if you tell someone, if you validate that what they are doing is good, or even if it's not good, that you want to encourage them to keep trying, find the things that are good and tell them about it. Because it can be anything, but if all someone hears is negative feedback, then they're going to think nothing good stood out, so why should I bother? So, I think, people do speed runs of games anyway, because it's less about necessarily trying to improve things, but trying to prove how skilled they are at something. But, I've seen people who create mods to skip entire facets of games, and anyway, we're getting a little off track here. I would like to keep...
Well, I mean, it's one of our streams, so...
Our streams?
Listen, I'm practically a co-host at this point.
Uh-huh. Making a note for next time. Griffin is not invited to the party.
Okay, no.
You keep saying that.
Anyway...
I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Fred liked my poem too,
What?
Just the...
Hack! Okay.
Just put one of those fucking rubber ducks up on screen.
Stop giving Pinger instructions!
Everyone wants their own berry.
Well...
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but... Anyway.
And Fred liked my poem too, He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Fred appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh, and how do you know that he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
Yes.
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ugh! Is everyone okay? Well,
good.
You know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Fred started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you!
Not so little anymore, apparently.
I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. What?
Just... I imagine them, both, turning to face the protagonist and their eyes sparkling, Omae wa mo shinderu. Nani?
Fred! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point?
Effective.
What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Fred. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language.
I mean, we're speaking Japanese, but it's English, so... You're clearly talking about English, too.
Yeah.
It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Fred?
Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place?
Cupcakes.
It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Help me, Sayori!
It's time to draw a line in the sand, by which I mean run to the pink-headed girl.
There's two.
Well, I guess.
The orange-headed. Yeah. Run to the pink-headed girl. Help me!
Oh yeah, I forgot it's anime. I have to be more specific.
Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her.
Donkey!
I love that you said that literally as Sayuri popped up on screen. That would be something that she would do too. Just like leaning between people and just going, Sayuri! Anyway, Sayuri! Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayuri uncomfortable. How could the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Fred. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayuri wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes. Stop! Natsuki! Yuri! You guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. And I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting?
Ladies, you're both beautiful.
Because... Well... Also! Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that! And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were.
Dating sims, making everyone a little gayer every day. And it's about goddamn time.
Big and beautiful! Sayuri. Sayuri stands up triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. Yeah, mood, Monica. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Yum! Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayuri is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things. But I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. I could kind of empathize with that, to be quite honest. I could be good or bad with people depending on the situation, but, like, I'm better with organization. Well, that was awkward, says Boba Fett.
Yeah, a little bit.
As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayuri is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be in our head, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun, except for that time when everything exploded and I complimented Yuri's boobs in front of everyone.
Well, at least she's equal opportunistically thirsty.
Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was all right. Well, mostly. Fred, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. I'm just gonna agree with everyone else because that's, much more passive than actually actively forming an opinion about anything.
Just another Monday.
It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your... well, something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yes.
I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination, looking completely crazy to anyone who wasn't privy to the monologue going inside my head.
Fred! Ready to walk home? You're looking a little crazy.
Sure, let's go. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri, about what happened earlier.
Eh? What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No! That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them.
Hate is a strong word, but I really, really, really don't like you.
Put a cork in it. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. Not yours, Griffin. Alright. Have a good night, the Sylph Wind. Thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate you joining in. I hope you have a wonderful night. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Fred, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too.
That's...
Every day is gonna be so much fun.
Sigh. It looks like Suri still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Or maybe she has. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there?
Not in one of these games, no. In fact, it's expected.
Well, we'll just have to see where the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. She dies. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay!
Yeah.
Okay!
Let's do this. Okay. So here's the thing. I think that's a pretty good stopping place for today.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of ground to cover in this game, and particularly this playthrough. Which, let me remind you, Jesus Christ, why did I have to choke in the last bit of this? Hang on a second.
Because we're professionals.
I'm super professional. What's your fucking problem? Anyway. This kind of is a long game. It has a lot of layers to it, and it takes a lot of unpacking, and this is actually going to be a particularly long playthrough. Like I said, this is going to be an attempt to play the game correctly in order to get a very particular sort of ending. But I actually do want to encourage everyone who's in this stream, if you have not actually played this game before, go and play it. Try not to spoil yourself entirely to all of the content of the game, especially some of the big super stuff that comes later. It is free. It's entirely free, so you don't have to pay a fucking dime for it. And
yeah,
if you're...
there's a lot wedged into this game, so it's definitely worth the non-purchase.
Honestly, yeah, like it pays you back. I would say tenfold, but I mean 10 times 0 is still 0.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure many people may have already been spoiled, but it's also one of those games where when you first boot it up, it actually comes with a warning saying that this is not a game for folks who may be sensitive to certain topics.
It's more than meets the eye. is what we're trying to get across.
More than meets the eye. But yes, it's definitely worth pursuing on your own. Especially, I mean, if you're planning to do a recording of it, it does take a little while to get through it, so it depends on what your energy levels are like. I will be continuing this playthrough next week as well. I am planning to continue this through the end of the month. I'm hoping to be able to get through the entire thing within the month, but if I can't, then, well, that's still fine. This is honestly one of my favorite games of all time, and I know that that's one of those, a free game that was made in a visual novel maker, and I think it's Ren'Py actually, that this was made in. But I'm always drawn to things like story elements, character-driven stuff, which this is definitely character-driven stuff. And it has a way of getting underneath your skin, despite how it might seem on the surface. So, yes, that is pretty much telling you, specifically Boba Fett, but anyone who's watching this either now or will be watching this later, to please, get a copy of the game, play through it yourself, experience it on your own for the first time, and make your own choices. Romance whomever you want to romance, and, just have fun with it. And then next week, on Monday, at 5 p.m. Central or 6 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, whichever is easiest for you to translate by, I will be streaming this again, and I may or may not have someone else joining, potentially, hopefully.
Yes.
But
you have your assignment for the week, kids. Get cracking.
It may seem like a somewhat long game. It's honestly just maybe a few hours in terms of play. Well, I would say maybe 5 to 6 hours in terms of general playthrough. First playthrough might be closer to 7 or 8 hours. It depends, but it's definitely worth exploring. And I'll say this, keep your mind open.
And out of the gutter.
That's impossible with this game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I want to thank you guys all for coming to watch today. I appreciate your support, your comments. It's always nice to be able to read you guys chatting and being able to talk with you guys live as I do that. That's a lot of the huge appeal of streaming anyway. I appreciate those of you who decided to actually chip in some bits. That means a lot to me. I'm always sitting here actually blushing when people are sending in bits, because I'm just like, oh my god, they're actually
not kidding, by the way.
I'm just like, oh my god. Yes. Why are people doing this? But I definitely appreciate the support. If you would like to support me on the regular, again, I would like to plug my Patreon. I could definitely use the support there, but again, always optional. All of the content that I make is going to be going up on my channel, completely free. It's never going to be something that I'm going to charge people for. I'm not going to put it behind any kind of paywall. Everything is going to be available, but the support goes a long way to making sure that this is something viable for me to do, and it might give me the ability to do more. But other people, it's okay, Boba Fett. It's okay if you're the only one being active in the chat sometimes. It would be one thing if you were spamming, but anyway.
Don't give them ideas.
But thank you guys all. I really do appreciate this a lot, and I look forward to being able to see you guys maybe next week, maybe same time next week, same channel and everything.
Same lore time, same lore channel.
With probably some similar guests.
Yes.
But, I look forward to seeing you next time, guys.
Have a good one, everyone.
Take care.